What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I got a real sweet for you, the Volvo V60, the station or estate wagon. This is a model year 25, so I'm gonna show you guys the car a bit more and try to answer the question, is this station wagon maybe better than its sister, the Volvo XC60? Who knows? Let's get started. Alrighty folks, so welcome to the model year 25 Volvo V60 T6 plug-in hybrid. On the exterior we see a familiar color, platinum grey metallic. It's a grey color, well, what's new at Volvo, but with this brown tint in it. That's how Volvo marketing describes it. This is the dark trim. Nowadays you have bright, more the chrome kind of style, and dark, the former R design. Over here you see it as well, so gloss black elements on the grille, on the bumper front element, on the mirror caps, window sills as well. Very nice 20-inch wheels. These are, well, more or less new wheels from model year 24 and onwards. You see these also on like the S60, V60, this one, XC60 even, XC90 even. Yeah, it's a bit of this aerodynamic kind of wheel. Interesting to see maybe also these gloss black details. So this is all pretty solid and pretty close. That of course is good for the aero, good for the electric range and efficiency with the petrol engine as well. This one is rocking no tinted glass, a thing which I dig quite a lot lately. Gives this very bright feeling, sense of space in the car. Oh nice, by the way, a station wagon. And then at the rear we see no exhaust pipes anymore, because Volvo is like this electric brand now, this whole vibe around it. So exhaust pipes does not fit the image. There are still some underneath the bumper hidden quite cleverly. Maybe I can show it you like this, but yeah, anyway. Besides that, Volvo V60 still quite familiar. The only change, similar to the model year 25 XC60 and all the others, we used to have like this big square with T8, T6 recharge, all-wheel drive in it. Now it's just back to the basics, how it all started. T6 plug-in hybrid, all-wheel drive. Now if we have a look at the interior then, we see a rather nice interior as well this time. Previously with the XC60 as well. Oh, there we go. That one had the tailor wool blend. This one is rocking a leather version. It's the amber with charcoal upholstery. Ventilated seats as well, so you also have the ventilation option, heated seats, heated steering wheel as well. Looking at the door, also the nice leather, really pretty. I really like this one. Bowers & Wilkins featuring on this one as well. Now this one still has the linear wood inlays. These are more or less being replaced by the driftwood inserts on all the other upholsteries. Gotta admit, I think this one also works better compared to the driftwood. I mean, with amber, that doesn't work. Okay, let me quickly get in. Up in here, we see a familiar Volvo steering wheel. Google infotainment. Yep, also in this one, working, pretty much like a charm. Google infotainment meaning you have Google Maps, you have the App Store from Google, so the Play Store, but also YouTube, for example, if you want and watch, for example, my video. Where's my video? EM90, cool. By the way, did you know that if you go over here, that you can change this, for example? So if you want YouTube to be featured over here on the top bar, then it's over here. Even with maps, you can also put that, for example, next to CarPlay, and then maps is over here. Yep, fun fact. So this is the Ultra spec. That used to be Ultimate, more or less meaning the most luxurious version you can opt for. Some extra options, Bowers & Wilkins. The sunroof is, I believe, standard with the Ultra. But all in all, you see that it's a quite luxurious upholstery. This is really nice with that leather also wrapping around the middle tunnel. Though this one feels a bit bigger or more chunky than, for example, the XC60. That has the same middle tunnel, middle console, but without this extra glass element on it. And also the leather, that's also only S and V60, I believe. So yeah, now the battery pack of this car, more about that later, is hidden, well, in here all the way. So yeah, it's this big block, but that does, for example, mean that over here there's not much space. You can put some coins in here, but this is it. You do have like this cable connection for Apple CarPlay. Make sure you always use the one with the white line around it. That's the one for Apple CarPlay. So yeah, storage wise, not that much. So maybe good to mention as well with the model year update, Volvo also got rid of the Recharge branding. So that is now only or exclusively for the full EVs of Volvo, like EX30, EX90 and so on. This one is just now being named plug-in hybrid. So the Recharge branding is removed from the car, and that used to be put over here, like in this inlay. That now says Volvo, and this is still with a piece of plastic on it for protection. So don't worry, this is just dirt and grime on the Volvo logo. But that's also like a model year update for model year 25. Now the V60 is more or less the spiritual successor of the Volvo V70, the real wagon or estate Volvo. And well, space-wise and also dimension size-wise, the V60 is more or less a V70. They really promoted that during the launch of the car. Space-wise, over here in the trunk, it's quite like useful space, squarish, straight to the point more or less, and yeah, you can easily fit a couple of suitcases in here and whatnot. Also for like a dog, for example, it fits really well in the boot of the car, and also if you put like a bench in it, then you still have some space over there. This is the grocery holder, typical. We see it in the Polestar 2, in the XC40 and all Volvos. Yeah, also in this one. And then there's also a bit of space still over here. Yeah, not that much going on. Also, of course, because there's an e-motor and drivetrain and whatnot beneath that. And also the tailgate can be closed electronically and also be locked immediately. Then quickly some details about this T6 and the platform. This is the Scalable Project Architecture platform, the familiar one from Volvo. Basically nowadays we have the CMA and the SPA. SPA2 is coming. That's, for example, is featuring on the Volvo EX90, Polestar 3 as well, and some other future Volvos, probably the ES90 as well, I'm assuming. Nowadays you have T6 and T8 Recharge. The biggest difference is that is, well, more or less a software limitation. T6 is good for 350 horsepower, T8 for 455, though they have the same e-motor on the rear wheels, 145 horsepower. So it's really like this tuning or software difference between the T6 and T8. Perhaps you can tune it, just saying. Battery pack, the 3-layer battery pack, about 19-ish kilowatt hour. That is good for WLTP figures on the V60, about 85 to 90 full electric kilometers. That, of course, it's a low car, not that heavy compared to its bigger SUV brother or sister, whatever. Onboard charger, 6.4 kilowatt. And yes, for the USA, apparently that is not the case. You still have the 3.2 kilowatt onboard charger. Don't ask me why or how, but apparently that's the way it works. Benefit of 6.4 kilowatt. You can charge it with a two-phase AC charger in about 3.5 hours or so. So that's just really convenient. I've been driving electric all week already. I think average is something like 1.7 liters per 100 kilometers, which is just insanely efficient. And if you can charge at home, at work, then you get really like this 70 to 90-ish full electric kilometers. And that's plenty for your commute, going to the gym, going for groceries. So yeah, this is really the best of both worlds. So that was a quick look at the exterior and interior of the car. Now I'm gonna get set to go for a small drive with you guys and then also discuss this thing like, is this car the better choice compared to the XC60? So let's go. Welcome on board the station wagon. Now the first benefit of the Volvo V60 is that the trunk simply has more usable space compared to the Volvo XC60. I had that car for the past 3 weeks, used it quite a lot, even on a trip to France, for example. But for some reason the trunk space, capacity, design of it, it's not as useful as the Volvo V60. This is a typical station wagon, of course. So in that regard, like cargo, space-wise, I tend to find the V60 more usable. Now this is the plug-in hybrid, meaning we are driving a lot on the e-motor, on electricity. which is just also really nice and easy to do with this 145 horsepower e-motor. You barely need that 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine up front. But either way, the shape of the V60 is a bit more aerodynamic than its bigger brother, the XC60. That of course is a heavy, big SUV, meaning that aerodynamics have more impact on the efficiency of that car. So far I've experienced that I get about 15 full electric kilometers more from the V60 compared to the XC60 on like my daily commuting, going to the gym and whatnot drive. So that's also, well, yeah, quite a bit of difference. You could argue not that much, but then again, like for city driving and whatnot, 15 kilometers is quite a bit, saves you a bit of charging. So yeah, the V60 is also a bit more efficient. Oh, and by the way, that's also when driving with the petrol engine. Then the car is also simply more aerodynamic, lighter, yeah, more efficient in fuel consumption as well. Perhaps some of you know that I like to drive low cars, not SUVs. Well, I also like to drive those, but the benefit of lower to the ground cars is that they are more involving, they are more fun to drive. I said the same lately about the Polestar 2, for example, which we also had for a test here on the channel. That of course is a real driver's car, but this station wagon surely has some character in it. It's a station wagon, it's a Volvo, you have 350 horsepower. Steering in this car is just fun. It's still a Volvo, it's comfy and whatnot. But yeah, just driving this V60 reminds me that it's just a lot of fun. Now, as another pro for dog owners, I would surely say that the XC60 is also quite useful. It's a low car, so that means your dog, also perhaps a bit of an older dog, can jump into the car a bit more easy compared to the XC60. As I said already, this station wagon makes space-wise in the trunk just more sense compared to the XC60. And then a last pro, or food for thought perhaps, fuel for thought, but this is a station wagon. And the big question mark I think this decade is, will the station wagon survive? Oh, that's by the way a truck with all kinds of new Volvos on it, XC90 V60s. Nice, good timing. Okay, focus. So yeah, a station wagon, how long will this kind of car survive? And then of course thinking about Audi, they recently introduced their A6 e-tron. But yeah, like this typical plug-in hybrid petrol station wagon, they are getting quite rare. So if you really like this car and enjoy it and have the budget for it, I'd say, you know, go for one of the last Polestar engineered Volvo V60s in a cool color, because it's just a special car, special type of car, a real Volvo as it should be. Yeah, I'm not really sure how long they will continue to exist, unfortunately. So prior to driving the V60, I had the XC60 for a test. That was a T8, quite a similar spec, also ultra and whatnot. Some pros for that car: it's an SUV, meaning, yeah, it's an SUV. It's just quite easy to use, a real family car, you could say. Getting in and out of the car really is a bit easier in the XC60 than, for example, the V60. I'm 2 meters 8, so for me getting into any car is difficult, but then surely I enjoy getting into an SUV. That makes my life a bit easier with this tall body. Now, SUVs also tend to have better resale values. SUVs are just popular cars, high demand for, many people like them, think they're usable of course. Back in the day that was the station wagon, the Volvo 850, the V70, 240s and whatnot. Yeah, nowadays in our SUVs. So in terms of station wagons resale value, yeah, the XC60 surely keeps its value a bit more. Still, this is a premium Volvo station wagon, but I think it's a good thing to keep in mind if you are, well, interested in that or thinking about that. I think the XC60 is the one to go for that. Now, whilst the V60 has a better usable trunk, the interior cabin of the XC60 makes more sense. For example, as I said already, this middle tunnel in the V60 is just bigger than in the XC60. It takes up quite a bit of space as well. And yeah, also the whole cabin in the XC60, the seating position as such, yeah, that's just nicer and easier in the XC60. Also, if you have kids, like the Maxi Cozy in the car, then of course also the XC60 as SUV being higher up makes more sense compared to the station wagon. Another pro for the XC60 is that it comes with air suspension. So unless you opt for the Polestar engineered version XC60, you can opt for air suspension. The V60 does not have that, so if you require that bit of extra comfort, yeah, then the XC60 is also the way to go for it. All in all, I tend to find it quite hard to really compare these two cars with each other. They both have their pros and cons. Some similar pros they have. Both are plug-in hybrids. T6 and T8 come on the S60V XCs. T68 3-layer battery pack, 19 kWh battery, 145 horsepower e-motor, and that is just great. They are really nice and they are on both vehicles, so in that regard, go for the T8, go for the T6 on either one of them. Both are also featuring the Google infotainment system. That just works really well. You get over-the-air updates, for example, with that as well, so your car is always up to date. You have Google Maps, you have YouTube, you have all kinds of fun applications. You can talk to Google, so you do not really need to mess around in the system. That's really a thing I like about Google Maps. It's just, I say, Google, navigate to blah blah blah, and then it will pick up the correct address already by itself and navigate me there. So that's really a thing I enjoy about this system. Both also have great upholstery options. This one, or the wool blend I had previously on the XC60, they're just so nice. Similar chairs, super comfortable, and they just provide a lot of lumbar support, back support. Also for the legs you have this extendable seat, which for me being so tall, of course, is really nice to have. But yeah, both have these kind of seats and upholstery options, so in that regard you're also quite safe with one of them. And perhaps then to conclude with a pro for both as well, they are both typical Volvos, 5-star NCAP safety ratings. Yourself, your family, your dog, whatnot in the car, they are all as safe as possible. On both, Volvo did not compromise on safety. And that's of course also a good thing for the both of them. So for the past 4 weeks I have been driving these plug-in hybrid SPA platform vehicles. I enjoyed it a lot. I really tend to like plug-in hybrids as well. Yes, we need to go EV mostly, but until then the plug-in hybrids really need some continuation of development as well. Bigger batteries, more efficiency from them. It's just such a nice combination, and as I said already, I've driven, for example, now about 500 kilometers. My average is 1.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Most of the time I've been driving electric, and it just goes so easy and so smooth. These cars are just so good, and then especially with the bigger battery pack, the 6.4 kilowatt onboard charger, that just makes electric life in this car super easy. And I really recommend checking out both the T6 and T8 because they are really a comfortable joy to drive. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, this look at the 2025 Volvo V60, and then some pros or cons perhaps for the V60 and XC60 as well. Let me know what you think about the both of them. Which one would you recommend? Which one do you have, or which one did you purchase? Because of what reasons? That's always interesting for me to hear from y'all. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Please do so, that really helps me out. If you want early access to my videos and also some other benefits, you can become a member of the channel. And the button for that is down below the video. Feel free to check it out and do so. So guys, that's me reporting from the 2025 Volvo V60. I see you next week Sunday, 3 PM European time in a brand new Volvo Polestar video. Have a great week. See you later.